Sometimes that made me sort of shut down as a person. It kind of made me hide in my classrooms because I didn't want my teacher to know that I didn't want my classmates to know that I was confused or that I wasn't getting so far along. But it's also so important for people to hear that, maybe even people at students at Braemar or people who know you, Mary, because I think when people look at you and they look at Nam, they see two really high achievers, right? They see people who make everything look easy and fun. And so it's so powerful for everybody to find out, even the ones who are making it look easy and fun, they still have their challenges and their insecurities and their feelings like they're the one that doesn't get it. Welcome to the Braemar Life Skills Academy podcast, where we'll explore the evolving world of education and student well-being. I'm your host, Mike Helsby, and in Season 2, we're focused on personal well-being, self-regulation, and innovative learning strategies for school and everyday life. Whether you're an educator, parent, student, or education thinker, this podcast is for you. Join us for insightful discussions, valuable perspectives, and a fresh look at the future of learning. Let's take that step into the future of education together. Welcome back to another episode of the Braemar Life Skills Academy podcast. I'm your host, Mike Helsby, and as ever, when I get to talk to some Braemar students, I'm just thrilled to have two of our amazing Braemartians, Mary and Nam, here with me in studio today. I'm going to let them introduce themselves to you, but just by way of explanation, as the designer of this podcast, it's really, really important to me that when we're talking education, we're not just talking to the academics and the education theorists and the teachers about young people, but that we're actually talking to young people about their experiences and seeing how all of these thoughts and ideas that we're batting about play out in their lived experiences. So I'm going to turn things over to Mary first. Mary,
Hi.
it's so nice to see you again. Hi,
It's nice
how
to
you
see you
doing?
again.
Tell us about yourself. Introduce yourself to the people listening.
Okay, my name is Mary Huynh, or you can call me. My real name was Ngọc Mỹ Dung Huynh, and I'm from Vietnam. I'm currently doing grade 12 at Braemar College in Toronto.
Hi guys, my name is Nam Phước and also from Vietnam, and this is like my second years in Braemar, and nice to meet you again, Helsby.
Oh, I miss you guys so much.
Yeah.
We got to spend a lot of time in the past year working with Mary and Nam as student leaders, as club leaders, as people who really spearheaded a lot of the great student initiatives that were going on at our school. And I can't think of two better people to talk to about this new school year. We've just come through the first term at Braemar. We've had our fall season, our first 2 months, and all the change and challenge and joy that come with it. So my first question to both of you, and I'm going to go to Nam first. Looking back at your first term, starting in September, coming back to school, and then going through those new classes with all those new classmates and the new initiatives going on, what was the most challenging thing that you remember facing in the past 2 months?
Like a past few months, I have my chemistry class, and that was my challenge start. So like I have a scientific course, so I have to deal with the scientific terminology. And I feel comfortable when I talking or communicating in English, but scientific terminology is a different things. And even in Vietnamese, I cannot remember all the scientific terminology. But when I came here, I have to learn some new word, like some really long new word in other language, and it's really hard for me. But yeah, like until now I still so struggle with the scientific terminology, but I think I will be better after the last few term.
That's so important for us to hear, Nam, because we often make the assumption that the knowledge we're sharing in classrooms as teachers is the only knowledge that the students are dealing with. And we often forget that there are um, things like language, things like cultural traditions that we may not be taking account of. And when it comes to a language like English that has taken in influences from all over the world, but especially in our technical and scientific terminology, we've taken a lot of really long, complicated words from the Greek language, all the ologies and mechanics and the techs, all those words, they can be tough. And so it's good to hear. It's a good reminder that someone like you, who's had such an academic achievement in the past and can obviously study and grapple with ideas in a really, really powerful way, is also dealing with these language barriers, and we need to keep that in mind. Mary, same kind of question to you. Last
Yeah.
2 months, what was the biggest challenge you faced?
So for me, the most challenging in the past term was dealing with peer pressure and coursework, because last term I start my first grade 12 course, which is advanced function. And for me, as an Asian, I was really proud of my mathematics skill. And because we do a lot of calculating back in my country, so I was really excited to take this course. And my aunts were like, okay, I'm gonna take above 90% for this course and do an amazing job. But when I get into this course, my classmate was amazing. They were really smart, intelligent. So I feel peer pressure because when we're doing quiz or test, I always the one that left behind, because they are finished it so quick and they got it right. But then for me, I need to take time and think that, okay, I don't understand this one. And seeing people that finishing up their work and chatting with each other is like, what I did wrong or what's going wrong here. I want to be like them. Like they're solving problems so quick and they're so smart, and I want to be like them. So that's how I face peer pressure in the last term.
Wow. I'm so glad that you brought that up. Uh, in our last episode of the podcast, we were speaking to somebody that you're familiar with, Miss Rebecca Bitten. And we were talking about this idea that comparison is the thief of joy, that comparing yourself with other people and other lifestyles can sort of steal your joy and your enthusiasm. And one of the things that I remember feeling when I was your age and I was in school was like, sometimes it felt like I was the only one who didn't get it. Like everybody else around me was just, they found it easy. Oh my goodness, they're so smart, they're so cool, and everything was hard for me. And sometimes that made me sort of shut down as a person. It kind of made me hide in my classrooms because I didn't want my teacher to know that, I didn't want my classmates to know that I was confused or that I wasn't getting so far along. But it's also so important for people to hear that, maybe even people at students at Braemar or people who know you, Mary, because I think when people look at you and they look at Nam, they see two really high achievers, right? They see people who make everything look easy and fun. And so it's so powerful for everybody to find out, even the ones who are making it look easy and fun, they still have their challenges and their insecurities and their feelings like they're the one that doesn't get it. But we know that there are ways to deal with those feelings, right? And we know that it's not a matter of being the smart person or the not smart person. It's about the processes that you engage with and the determinedness, your willingness to go and go again until you get there. So I want to ask both of you. I'm going to go back to Nam, talking about those language barriers when you're learning that high level science and chemistry class. What did you do in the past 2 months to address that challenge?
So there's one wonderful things that I have a really good teacher in my chemistry class, and she teach me a lot, like even in knowledge or also the study method. And she also like teach me how to use flashcard, and I found it's really helpful for me because like I will try a new terminology in in one size, and the definition of that of that work in the other side. And like when I have time on just on the subway or the bus, I just take it out and flip it over so that I can review and see the work again. And I think it's really helpful. I think it's really works, and because my grade was like increased, you can see it by eyes, not even talk to me, but like if you have my report card, you can see like my test and my exam grades will increase. And I really like i'm, I'm really glad because I used that method to overcome this challenge.
Brilliant. And I'm sure you felt the fact that we know self-testing or self-quizzing using cue cards, flashcards. I know a lot of people use a program called Anki online, ANKI, which is basically you can design a deck of digital cards for yourself, is one of the most effective ways to learn, and especially one of the most effective ways to build confidence. So for the especially the language learners out there, check out Anki or just go ahead and get yourself a deck of flashcards. And like Nam said, very, very intelligent. We have lots of times in our lives that are kind of like dead time when we're on the bus or we're just sitting and waiting for something. You pull out those cards and you refresh and you refresh and you refresh. And I think everybody can hear, like, Nam, you're English. I haven't spoken to you in a few months since the end of last year. I can tell it's getting even better, right? I've always understood you clearly, but you speak so well.
Thanks.
You are doing
Mary,
good.
same question. You came with these very high expectations from your Asian culture. You said, I was ready for math and I was ready to be great at math. And then at the start of term, maybe some, like we call like a reality check, like it didn't all go perfectly. So what did you do to meet that challenge?
At first, at the first day when I facing peer pressure, I was stressing out, and I feel like I really depressed at that time. So after school, I usually hang out with Namfung, and luckily I have Namfung by my side. Like we are close friends, and I told her what am I concerned about, what I'm thinking about, and why I'm stressing out about that. I talked with her in the library, and she gave me a lot of advice. Like you shouldn't be like that. Otherwise, I also talk with guidance and other teacher around school. I told them that you know what, I'm feeling stressed right now. I'm not feeling okay. I'm sharing those things with them. They especially for guidance when I come and talk to them, I'm not feeling okay about academic work, and I'm feeling really stressing out because I'm grade 11 student, 12 student, and I need to get ready for university application for college. So that's what I'm concerned about. When they check my score, like my report, and I said, you know what, you are a really good student because that's not bad. But for me, it's not enough. That's for me because I have a really high expectation on myself. That's why I easily got high, like peer pressure. What I did after that, I talked with Mr. Cho because he was my teacher, and he's very kind. He is a very supportive teacher. I told him that I'm really concerned about my studying, and there's some question if I don't know if I did right or not. So can you show me what I did wrong, and what can I do to deal with that? So he spent his lunchtime to teach me that lesson again, and show me what step that I should do in order to finish this work. That's what I really grateful about that. And for everyone, like even Namfung or teacher or guidance, I really thankful because I talk with them, I share with them, and I ask them what do I need to change and what do I need to do in order to be doing better.
I'm so glad to hear that you were met with care and compassion every step of the way, because what you did is exactly what we would want our students to do when they have that feeling like they're the only person who's not getting it. As I said earlier, my instinct when I was young, and a lot of people's instinct, is to close down, is to hide. And I think that the response that you adapted of reaching out to a good friend, reaching out to a guidance counselor, reaching out to a teacher, and being honest, right? Saying, I'm confused. I'm not pleased with my current progress. What can I do? It sounds simple. It's not so easy in real life. And I think if we can encourage other young people to take that step, we call it sometimes take that leap of faith in another person and build a resilient network of support where we don't have to hide in the dark anymore. We can open ourselves up to the possibility that we don't know everything yet, right? We're always going to be learning. We're never going to be perfect. That's just such a wonderful message to share with everybody. And I hope, especially the young people out there, hear that loud and clear,
Yeah,
right? If you are confused, if you are in doubt, reach out.
because
Right?
it's
Don't.
only easier to say more than do. Before that, I think that, oh, because I have heard a lot of things. When you are in your difficulties, when you are facing something that's challenging, like talk with someone, talk with your teacher, talk with guidance. But I know someone that they not maybe not willing to share that thing with teacher because they don't have kind of that strong relationship, and they don't believe that people can help them to solve their problem. And I think that's the problem why students not usually share things with teacher or even guidance, and they just keep hide that struggling. And at the end they said, oh, because you know what, because I'm facing peer pressure and no one helped me with that. That's why I have that kind of bad experience and lower in my academic result. I mean, because you need to share with someone. You cannot just, oh my, I show that I just being silent in class, no one could know. So you need to come up to them and talk with them about that. So that's what I could see from people around me.
I couldn't have said it better myself. Nam, do you want to add on to any of that?
Because like actually I'm the person who you guys are talking about. Like because I just wish that last term I could talk to guidance about my challenge. But because I I talk with my chemistry teacher. I talk with my chemistry teacher, but like I'm not feel that close to guidance, so I'm not really willing to share my problem with them. But like when I'm hearing you guys talking about sharing your problem with like adults like who can solve your problem, like I wish I could tell them at that time, because guidance or their guidance and they they always deal with some people like me, like because they work in the international school. They know how to deal with language barriers and help you out with like scientific terminologies, or just simply the communicating daily communicating. But at that time I'm, because like back in my home country we don't have some things. For myself, I don't have some things called concealer, like because I have some traumatic memories with my teacher back on my home country. So I'm not really feel comfortable when I talking with them about my challenge. But I, like Maham and Alex, really nice. They are really nice. When me and Mary going home after the final exam, we met Maham in
Yeah.
the escalator, and like she's like our friend. Like she asked if we have a party after exams. So I'm like, wow, how can you like do be that nice to your student? Like we should like because you're older than me, so I should respect you, and I cannot talk to you like my friends. But like after that day, I feel like we actually can be that close, and I actually can share with you.
I hope Maham and Alex, our wonderful guidance counselors at Braemar, get to hear that. Um, what a gift to have people in your life who meet you in that way and are open and can see you as people and not just as students or as grades on a sheet. Yeah, we all, I think we all deserve somebody like that in our lives. And the big message coming through here to everybody out there, It's amazing how good it feels when you finally get that thing that you've been holding on to and keeping secret in yourself. You get it out to another person, right? It feels like freedom, and it takes bravery, right? It takes willingness and determination to do it, but you have to, right? You're not always going to be met by a wonderful guidance counselor like Miss Maham or Mr. Alex, but you have to keep trying. You have to keep reaching out to friends, parents, siblings, counselors. And fortunately, we are in a world and an education environment that is starting to realize the need for those people. So when you two get to your big university careers and you continue your amazing progress to the stars, you are going to have to walk into those professors' office hours, right? And you're going to have to be brave and open in the same way. I promise you, the good feelings and the progress and the benefits are going to come in exactly the same way. Keep doing that. Okay. And of course, continue with the cue cards and the Anki and the other wonderful learning strategies you engage. I wish I could talk to you for forever. I miss you both
Yeah.
very, very much,
Yeah,
but
we
I
miss
want you to
you.
know how proud I am of you, and just so pleased that you get to be leaders in that those beautiful hallways of Braemar College. Before I let you go, is there anything else you want to say, maybe to other students, to teachers, to the other people in your life?
I would like to leave some work for like new students, especially from Asia. Like I know that for Asia people, especially like our educational system, student and teacher are not that close, and we are not willing to share our like secret problem with the teacher. But like, the teacher, his grammar is really nice. They have like high academic record. They also a nice person, like yeah, a wonderful one. They will always willing to answer your question, even about like your social life or your lesson. But just ask them, they will answer. Just me.
Great.
Yeah.
Mary, anything from you?
And for me, I want to say something about peer pressure. That's something
Mm,
that what every of us will at least experience once. But for me, it's what a wonderful experience for me because during this time, I know because I have my friends here who's always willing to help me and talk with your teacher, or if you're concerned about your record about your work, just try your best, come to class every day, ask every question as possible as you can, because the teacher will know you and they will try to help you out with that. Because if you don't ask, they won't know. So just try your best to connect with your teacher, connect with everyone, and come to school every day.
Yes, don't skip a class.
Don't skip the class, you miss everything.
I, you're a teacher's dream. You really are. You have really, really wonderful attitudes to learning, and I wish you nothing but the best in the future. I have full confidence in your trajectory, in the places that you're going. Um, just keep smiling, keep those attitudes that you have, and keep giving that energy to other people, because you're going to be a gift to them, I think.
Yeah,
Thanks.
thank you so much. It's really nice to
All
see
right.
you again.
It's so
Yes.
nice to see you. All the best. Good luck. I'll talk to you again. But until then, this has been another episode of the Braemar Life Skills Academy. Looking forward to bringing you lots more perspectives from wonderful students going through the education journey today and tomorrow. Until then, I'm Mike Helsby. I'll see you later.